Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. If you're new to the channel, my name is Robert and this is
Bob the Builder, Vanna White, Batman, better known as Eli the Builder. First, I'd like to say thank you, Rob, for finally cleaning part of the table. We can finally put a tool down. Great job, Rob.
Only took me about 6 hours to clean 2 square feet. That's how much stuff was packed on it.
You know, I've been coming here for about 1.5 years now, and I see this nice piece of wood just sitting there the whole time.
Yeah, beautiful.
What's that piece?
Oh, I got to make that for one of our clients into a coffee table.
Well, why don't we build that?
Good idea. All right, let's build it.
All right,
let's go. Here we go. Okay. All right, everyone. Now it's been decided. Today, we are going to take this beautiful black walnut biscuit cut slab and turn it into an amazing coffee table. And I just want to tell you that this is a biscuit slab. So what a biscuit slab is instead of just cutting a cross section of the tree, they cut it actually on an angle. And this way you get this beautiful kind of angle cut here, right? So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to take this, we're going to turn it into a beautiful coffee table. We're going to remove the remainder of the bark, sand it out down, Rampa bits, legs, everything done. You ready?
I'm ready, my man.
All right, so stick around because this build starts
right now.
You know it.
All right, so in all honesty, getting rid of the bark, there's no special secret to it. Eli and I, we just go ahead and we'll get something like a chisel or a screwdriver, something with a flat edge, and we'll just use a hammer and slowly, make our way between the bark itself and the actual black walnut. Now, the good thing about this is you don't have to worry about it if you gouge the walnut or something. You can easily sand it. It's a live edge, and you're going to see that there's all kinds of bumps and crevices and stuff like that. So if you just sand it nicely and blend it in, no one will ever know that you made a mistake or that you kind of messed up a little bit. But yeah, just, take your time and just scrape off what's there. And then after, take that sander and sand it all down so that this way you're down to solid wood, and then you'll have nothing to worry about. Next, we'll go ahead and, I could tell that the black walnut was not quite 100% flat. So what I did was I just brought it over to my CNC and I just threw it under there and made it go passing left to right, of course, as you could see, and just taking off not even 1/8 of an inch, more like a 32/32 of an inch, and just enough so that the top that was a little bit bowed came off and a little bit on the sides, and it was perfect. And then I had a beautiful flat finish. So after all that CNC flattening, of course, you can get those lines on it, but they're nothing big. It's just a tool that goes back and forth because it's cutting in a forward motion and then in a reverse motion. So you get these kind of lines, but after sanding for a few minutes, they all go away. But we do the traditional 60 grit, 80, 120, 150, 180, 240, and sometimes even a little more. And what we do is, of course, once we get up out into the 120 range, we start popping the grain at every time we change the sandpaper. And it really helps out because when we get then to the 240, there's very little bit left that's popping, and we'll just wet it and sand it and then wet it, and as long as we can feel a little bit of popping, we just keep giving it that little bit of moisture so it pops again until we don't feel anything. When we don't feel anything, we know that it's 100% right, and we can go ahead and then look at finishing it or do whatever it is that we have to do. Now, this board, this biscuit cut, it was absolutely beautiful, but the bottom of it had a bit of a knot that was in it, and we had to remove it, and it left like a bit of a gouge or a bit of a mark in it. So we just mixed up a bit of black resin and just poured it into the spots that had either little cracks or anything. And it's not a big deal because this is the bottom of the board. And so we'll just let it harden, and it'll take about, I like to wait at least 1 week This way the resin is fully cured. Sometimes you'll wait 2 days, 3 days, and the resin's not 100% cured. When you start to sand, it starts to like make little balls, little resin, the way it comes off. So leaving it a week, you have nothing to worry about. Next, I marked out the legs and I started drilling the holes for them. And as you can see, I use that drill block, and I just use it for the smallest one really, so that it keeps my drill bit straight. Now, after you drill the first hole, like whatever size that is, the smallest one you're going to go, when you move to a larger bit, the bit is always going to follow the path of least resistance. So all you got to do is put it down, put it generally straight, and it'll straighten out for you. So you don't have to use that block for everything. Now, once I get to the bigger size, the correct size, you'll see that I put some tape on the actual drill bit. And the reason why I do this is it ensures that I'm only going down as deep as I need to go to get the Rampa bit down and flush. If you don't do that and you go too deep, you do risk the chance of possibly going through the top of the table, and then the table is ruined. Now, I gotta admit, this piece of black walnut is 2¼ inches thick, so you're not gonna go through this very easily. Then after that, I usually just take that tool, as you saw, and I just, it does a chamfer so that this way the Rampa bits sit nice and flush. After that, I just take a bit of glue there with the hardener, put a dab of it in, and then go ahead and screw the Rampa bits in. And once you actually spray that hardener, they're not coming out anymore. It's almost impossible. All right, now all the Rampa bits are in and back to sanding. As you can see, I delegated Eli as the king of sanding. And, well, he's been doing it a lot in his lifetime, so I figure, what the heck, let me take advantage of it and let him do a little more. But as you can see, we just go back to the sanding, and we don't cut any corners, not even on the bottom. We're going to sand it right through all the grits to 60 to 80, all the way to 240. And then from there, we're going to pop the grain and do all that. And once again, ensure that there's no surprises if it ever gets wet. We are at the final stage. We've been sanding from 60 to 80 to 120, 150, 180, 240. We just finished 240 right now. We've popped the grain at probably every interval just to make sure that it was coming out beautiful. It is so smooth right now. It's not funny, as you can see. It's still drying from the last time we popped the grain, and we are going to put on probably something like a 400 now, 380 or something like this, whatever it is, and give it its final sand, its final wet down, and just make sure that nothing pops. Once we know that nothing's popping anymore, we are now going to finally put the finisher on and end this project. I just want everyone to know that I'm the one who's been doing all the work, and Eli is just here again.
Looking good.
But any words of wisdom, Eli?
Not really.
No, we're just, sanding it, not moving more than 1 inch at a time. And I'll tell you, this right now just feels so smooth, it's incredible. I wish you could feel it. I wish there was feel-o-vision. There you go.
Don't cut any corners. It's really not worth it.
It isn't. It isn't. Sand wet, wipe it down, make sure you're getting all that dust off, and that's going to ensure a piece that's going to last forever.
Forever.
All right.
And look like it's brand new every day, forever.
Yep, exactly. So let's get this final sand down and we're good to go. All right, so you see Eli moving back and forth really fast, and we always say not more than 1 inch per second. And the reason why he's moving so fast is because it's at 20 times the speed. All right, so here we go. We are done sanding, and this piece is absolutely stunning. Eli did a great job of sanding it down, and I made sure I did a great job of telling him how to do the job. So anyways, but when I like to finish a job like a coffee table or something, a bigger project, I like to do something a little different. So what I do is I start with the Osmo Extra Thin, and then once this is on and we've
we've buffed it in and everything. I'll give it a little time, 20 minutes, and then I go in with the poly oil. And this is a thicker one. And what it's doing is the thinner stuff is absorbing more into the wood, and then the thicker finish will actually coat the wood really nice, and you get just an incredible finish. So that's what we're gonna do right now. So let's get it done.
Alrighty.
All right, buddy. I already pre-mixed them, and so they're all good to go. So I know some people will, use brushes and stuff. I don't. I just use my fingers and I'll rub it in. And I like to feel if there's anything that's popping or anything that I need to actually look at or deal with. But yeah, the extra thin just absorbs so quickly, it's not funny. So I love this stuff because it penetrates so deep.
Yeah.
So after I apply the Osmo Thin, I'll wait 20 minutes and I will take a rag and rub it down just in case there's any areas that it did not absorb. You want to make sure, the old saying is, you can never take too much off, but you can leave too much on. So give it a good rub down, and then that's when I go to the Pollux oil, the thicker stuff. It is just a great product and it really absorbs into the wood, and you got the thin set that goes underneath and that gets really deep, and then this one, the Pollux oil, is just a fantastic product, and it just gives it such a nice coating, a nice sheen on it, but not too much. You want to leave that natural wood look. You don't want it over shiny because that's just not the way wood is. So just like the Pollux Thin, after you apply it, wait 20-30 minutes and then give it a good rub and get off as much as possible. And there you have it.
All right, so there you go, and we are 100% finished. Now, one thing to know is that this table was sanded to about 400, and then from there, we actually went ahead and put our Osmo on it, the thin set and then the thick set, and then rubbed it all down, and it's just stunning. Personally, I love this type of a table, and the reason why is because I can feel the natural wood fibers, and it feels great to feel. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll pour what's called a thin set or a flood coat on it, and that flood coat will make it shine like a diamond. However, when you run your hand over it, you're really running your hand over plastic. That's not something I like. And if you like that, power to you. I hope you enjoy it, and it looks beautiful, but for me, I just like the natural textures and the natural colors. So, I hope you like this video. I hope you consider liking and subscribing, and I hope to see you in the next video.